Brett and I were talking about this a little bit earlier. Maybe I shouldn't be super surprised.
I'm not.
Because it seems the way this team is now constructed in the parts and so on.
Flawed.
Yeah, they're just not that good.
Well, Moshe, and.
But no.
Porter,
It's not that they're bad. They're good. They're just not.
They're good.
They're not good.
But they're not that
They're
good.
not good enough
They're not
to.
great.
It's been that way all year.
Yeah, they're not good enough to. They're not good enough to do anything.
And Porter is obviously hurting with that shoulder. I mean, even when he's going up for layups, Vic, it's like his arm's halfway up. That left arm is.
He told us after the game he was 20 to 30%.
Yeah, that was clear.
He said he found out the recovery in this is typically 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, and he's
they got
trying
4
to
to
grit
5
through
days.
it. So he's hurt, and then you lose Westbrook 9 minutes into the game. It's like, what do you expect to happen with a team that was already short depth-wise with one guy that's completely out and the other guy that's playing at, you said 20 to 30% was what Porter said?
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
You know, sports elicits some weird emotions, wild emotions. And tell me if you guys have been here before. I was more upset and distraught after Game 2's loss than I was last night.
Me too.
Because last night, the reality hits you. Last night, the truth hits you. And I was suspicious of it. I sort of saw it coming, but it just smacked you in the face like Mosier and his 10 pounds of meat. I got smacked by 10 pounds of meat right in the face last night, and I wasn't surprised.
It's almost like you're asking for a reality check. Just give it to me, doctor.
Yeah.
Straight, I can take it. It's one of those reality checks.
Yeah.
You're almost begging for it. All right, just please show me who you really are, and we can get on with this damn thing. I think last night was they're showing you that they're not there with this group the way it's constituted.
The roster's not good enough.
No. And
you know what? They can win another game in this series.
Sure they could.
Of course they can. They can extend it. But let's be blunt here. For what? To escape the inevitable? What's coming up next?
Yeah. I mean, we were all kind of wondering when they fired Malone, maybe that gives them a little extra juice. Maybe that gives them a pop. And I think it did. It did.
Yeah, it did.
But that's not going to last, for a month and a half, 2 months during a playoff run. Like, eventually that's going to run its course. And I think Vic said it best. I'm unsurprised by the result last night because it felt like what I've seen all year. The Nuggets are capable of playing a good basketball game. They're capable of this repeatedly, though.
Yeah. My theme yesterday was they have to surprise me.
Yeah.
And they often do, right? I told you guys that. I said, I don't expect them to win, but they've surprised me before. Now they would have to shock me to win this series.
Yeah.
Not surprise me, shock me. And they've shocked us before. They did. In the bubble, they did it twice. Now that you've got injured players stacking up, we spent a good portion of our show last night, our postgame show, talking about what they need moving forward. That sort of tells you where the tone is.
Sure. Did we get an update on Russ after the game, by the way?
Hip injury. It's not a foot, it's a hip. And no update, really.
I thought it was a foot.
Coach Adelman after the game said hip.
All right.
There's one of two things that were going to happen this postseason. And to be honest, I was good with either one. One would be they make a magical run. And I'm good with that because that would be fun. It's fun to watch your team do that. Two is you get hit with a reality check and you got an offseason full of big changes, which I also think is totally fine because it might be necessary and probably is necessary.
Well, I don't think it's. I don't think it's probably. Yeah.
It's necessary.
It is necessary.
Of course. I'm just saying there's one of two things that were going to happen. They were going to make a magical run to the Western Conference Finals or whatever, and then you'd be like, oh, well, this is great because they're playing good basketball. Or it's like, all right, we need to really revamp this.
Vic, the issue, though, is with this team, I think there's only so much that you can do. If you want to make some big changes with the Denver Nuggets, you are going to have to do some major coaxing of other teams. Courting, massaging, begging, whatever. You're going to have to do some of that. If you want to make major changes, it's going to be difficult with what you're tied with.
I think the biggest hire going forward is not the coach. It's going to be the GM.
For sure.
Because the GM, whoever they hire as a GM, is going to have to do exactly what you said. There are some untradeable pieces on this team. We know this. So how do you get them off your roster? How do you fill that void? What do you do moving forward to reinvent yourself, but at the same time stay competitive? Because it's easy to blow it up, but you don't want to do that. I mean, you don't want to go back down there. You want to remain competitive, but you want to do so sensitively by removing pieces that just don't work. Listen, we talked about this last summer. The new NBA is about depth.
Yeah.
It's about depth. It's about having enough people that can do certain things. They have zero depth, and it shows in abundance every game.
Well, you're right about this, Vic. The GM, I think, is going to be more important than the coach moving forward. And I'll give you a prime example of why. Who's a team in the NBA that sold out for stars thinking that was going to work?
The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, the Suns.
They didn't even make the postseason.
Yeah.
And they had a roster with KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Didn't even make the play-in.
But those are stars that already made All-Star games.
Well, yeah, what do you mean?
I mean, they actually had a resume. I mean, those are stars.
Oh,
that,
sure, yeah.
They,
That's what I'm saying, though. That approach now to, like, I'm just going to grab 3 really good guys and surround them with whoever the hell we can doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Listen, if it sounds, if we sound down today and if it sounds like we're already in the off-season mode, tough. Prove us wrong.
Yeah, there's a reality check here.
Tough.
It's much different, Moj, than what you're facing with the Avs right now, who are their series records between the Nuggets and Avs are the exact same. But if I said, do you guys feel like the Avs will still win this Dallas series? My answer is yes. I think they still will. Mm-hmm. Do you think the Nuggets will win their series? I'm like, I give it like a 10% chance.
Yeah, not even that. Because I think that the players know. Inside that Avalanche room, they're like, okay, Saturday, we're going.
Mm-hmm.
The Nuggets are like, we're not going to be able to do this. I just think that thought can't help but permeate through the room.
Sure.
And belief is a major thing when it comes to the postseason.
You could see the look of defeat on their faces.
Yes.